we're celebrating over 135 years of the existence of Huddersfield TUC, and about especially what we've done in the past, about solidarity action and stuff like that, how we've supported workers in dispute, not only in this town but all over Britain. And also it's important, we've supported international struggles like civil rights in Northern Ireland, about the struggle of black people in South Africa. We've always been positive and courageous and supported them. Also like progressive movements in Latin America, we've supported them. And especially if places like Chile and the coup and stuff like that, we've always supported people, because we see it as our things, not only to improve our lot in Huddersfield, but we want to create a better society in the world.
Well, it's 138 years of being in the van of generating solidarity for workers nationally, locally, nationally and internationally. And, it was born in the wake of the Weavers' strike in the early 80s, which was a failure. The Weavers' Union was a relatively new union. The workers weren't very strong in relation to their employers. And so they met together, decided in the time-honoured spirit of trade unionism that unity was strength, and started meeting to support each other's struggles. And that was the genesis of the Trades Council in Huddersfield in 1885, and in many other trades councils, in towns and cities up and down the country.
The ballot that we had on Thursday was a very successful ballot once again. That's the third ballot we've had to continue our industrial action in the last 18 months. Yay! And met all the ridiculous hurdles that we have to go over and the percentages that we need to achieve, none of which the government that's put those in place would be there now if they had to achieve half of those percentages. But we've done it. And for that I've got to apologise that without any doubt some of you are going to be inconvenienced again in the forthcoming future when we do take industrial action. So I'm not apologising for why we're taking industrial action, because I hope when I finish this speech you'll all understand why. We'd love a pay rise, but I've got to tell you this, my members are not fighting solely for a pay rise. My members are fighting for the retention of jobs, the protection of terms and conditions for both now and in the future, and then at the end of that, yes, perhaps if we can get something sorted out on that, yes, we would like a pay rise. But trust me, the pay rise is third on the list of our objectives during this disruption. It's to keep a railway that is usable for everybody. It's to keep a railway that is safe. Because if you cut all these staff out and expect people to do the same jobs, it won't be safe. It's as simple and as easy as that.
It's a huge celebration. It just shows the fact that despite all the hardships that have been put in front of us, certainly over the last 15 or 20 years of certainly Tory government, who really don't give one monkeys about the working class. But the working classes have stood together. They've stood together way back from, 130 years ago, as you say, and they've suffered the same hardships that we're suffering today. And you would have thought that over the years those hardships would have gone away a little bit, but they haven't. But it's a massive congratulations to the working class for staying together for this long.
So, at this juncture, it's my pleasure to invite our next speaker, Nick Ruff. Nick needs no introduction to many of you. He's been an activist to say the least, and chair of Kirklees Unison for I don't know how many years, as well as being a regular stalwart of the TUC. It must be 20 odd years, Nick.
More years than Bob's been secretary.
Oh, really? Right, so the floor is yours for a few minutes.
Thanks, John. Thank you very much, John, for those kind words. And I also think, just to repeat a bit of what John said at the start,
This is to celebrate 135 years of trade union solidarity. But I think the solidarity that this Trades Council provides to those fighting in our area, but not just in our area, but internationally, is an absolute credit to the people who organise Huddersfield TUC. And Bob, who you'll never hear him say anything, who never gets on a platform to speak, is an absolute stalwart of the Labour movement in Huddersfield and wider. And I think people need to appreciate that, and that's why you're here tonight. And when you look around the room tonight, it is a history of struggle in Huddersfield.
Well, Huddersfield TUC, certainly in the years that I've been involved, which is 30 years now, organises all the unions in Kirklees, mainly in Huddersfield, but also other unions that organise in the north of Kirklees. And it's a brilliant opportunity to have discussions with other trade unions to organise joint trade union work. Unison is one of the biggest benefactors of Huddersfield TUC. We affiliate 3,000 of our members to Huddersfield TUC, and we have 6 delegates to the monthly meetings, and we have co-sponsored a lot of the Huddersfield-wide events that Huddersfield TUC has organised and fully supports the work they do, and particularly the work done by Bob Stoker, the Secretary, which is just immense.
So having 200 and 300 people as part of a campaign is great, but these are 200 and 300 people that are facing a cost of living crisis, food poverty, child poverty, and every single social need that we're facing, because our areas are massive in deprivation and austerity caused by Tory government. We have to acknowledge that. Now, all of these people can't go out and find information, become educated on the protocols to follow to deliver a successful campaign or to engage with their local council, because they're too busy working 40 to 60 hours a week to make sure they can feed their kids and just about top up gas and electric to make sure their families are warm. So it's very hard to educate these people efficiently, and I can't do it. So the trade unions have been a massive backbone and a support system in enabling local people to become local leaders. And the unfortunate reality is the local leaders that are elected are just not doing that anymore. And that is why this campaign has been set up. So right now we are at a point where our campaign is at the beginning, and we want to make sure that we are engaging with as many locals as possible. So if you do want to get involved in this campaign, please just come and see me after this. I'll be happy to give you all the information. What I want to say personally is, I run a food bank locally. I'm a part of Unite and I'm a part of GMB Union. I like to get involved and I like to campaign as much as I can in my free time. Any work I've ever done locally, any campaign I've ever been a part of, people like Nick, Bob, Mick at the back was amazing. You guys welcomed me in, you have made sure that you have supported me, your kindness has helped me and the people that I work with set up campaigns, and this is exactly why unions, the trade unions, the Huddersfield TUC are so important. So thank you.
In my experience, a lot of people want to create change, social change in their communities. The only problem that we find is there's not a lot of education on how to do things and how to follow protocol, on how to set up campaigns effectively and negotiate with local authorities, MPs, elected officials. And so TUCs like Huddersfield TUC, they are a part of that education, they're a part of that support system, and it enables a lot of local people to become spokespersons for things that they care about, and it creates community leaders. So they're the cornerstone for working class people. Basically, they are the people that are behind you 110%. It doesn't matter what political party is in power, they've got your back through the good, through the bad. Whether you care about them or not, they care about you. And that's something to be proud of, and it makes you want to be a part of that. And anyone that can support TUC, especially the one that we have locally, should definitely get involved.
I'm going to read you a few testimonies now. I cannot afford to put the heating on, and as a result, I'm ill. I've restricted the amount of food and essentials that I buy. My mental health is deteriorating due to worrying about paying bills and then more bills. I cannot afford to retire, and I cannot afford activities outside of work. I've not had a holiday in 10 years, and at the moment I'm panicking about putting the heating on. I sit with a blanket wrapped around me at night, and I sit with no lights on to save electricity. I've had to cancel my kids out of school activities because I can no longer afford these so-called luxuries. Friends, those are all testimonies from PCS members, civil servants, employees of this government. Let that sink in for a minute. One of the most shocking statistics, I think, because obviously we are portrayed in a certain way by the media, but I'm employed by the DWP, and in our department, 40% of the workers who process universal credit also claim it, and I think that's pretty disgusting.
I'm pleased to be here with you tonight to celebrate 135 years of struggle here in Huddersfield, to salute you for the struggles that are going on now, but even more importantly, to say let's focus on the political and industrial struggles ahead. Trade councils are so important, and Huddersfield Trades Council very much so. It makes me proud as a West Yorkshire Labour MP to be able to come here tonight and pay tribute to everything you've done through your history, but also what you're doing now. You're enabling workers in different sectors in Huddersfield to unite their struggles and show support and solidarity to each other. You're taking part in other campaigns as well. And I think it's fantastic, as John said, that you're raising money for two causes tonight, the RMT Strike Fund and also medical aid for Palestinians. We are a movement that cares about every single person in our community and every single person around the world. That's the best of our trade union movement. Huddersfield Trades Council represents the best of our trade union movements. Happy birthday, and here's to many more. Thank you very much.
I think it brings people together. You know, the TUC, whenever I've been involved in something political, the TUC have been there. The TUC are a constant force in left-wing politics and the Labour movement. And it brings different groups of people together because you can't have them be in separate groups because you need solidarity to achieve political change. And the TUC as an organisation has spent hundreds of years bringing people together and organising a Labour movement that can reach all different types of people.